Hello and welcome. It is I, Sylvia Hartmann, coming to you from beautiful Eastbourne by the sea, above, below, and everywhere. And I'm delighted to be here with you and share the latest news from the Starfields universe and have some fun and learn some new things. And while we're here and while we're waiting for our friends to assemble for Sunday Live at 10 a.m. UK on Sundays, I try to be here. I try to be here and have a good time with everyone who will come to join me. Good morning, Jenny. Hello, welcome. Welcome to the wonder worlds of energy where wonderful things can happen and wonderful star sparkles can enter. What kind of week we've had, I wonder. The only thing that matters is to remember the good things that happened. Good morning, dear Renata. Hello. Lovely to have you here with me this morning. And so, yeah, if you're on YouTube, please be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you get to hear when there's something new or exciting going on. And it's nice to be here. I look forward to Sunday Live with Sylvia. I do. It's just really nice to connect with everybody and just be here and relax and have a chat. Good morning, Lorna. Hello, my darling. And good morning, Marianne. Yes, you made me laugh this morning with your post. It was, now that isolation is over, we can get together with 10 people. No problem. No problems. And then underneath it said, but where do you get 10 people from that don't have any problems? And I saw that and I thought it was quite funny. And then I thought, oh, I know where we can get 10 people from where we don't have any problems. We can come to the Star Matrix group. Yeah, there's people there who have star stories to tell. And that's pretty much what I'm going to be doing and focusing on. I'm going to be focusing on sort of my star moments of the last week. And I think that's actually really good to be doing that in general for live streams. Good morning, Ilka. Hello. Yeah, lots of love to you. Yes. All right, well, I might as well just get into it. As you can see behind me, there is, so I don't forget to mention it, we're going to have a live stream to celebrate the first ever Star Matrix Day in human history, which is going to be on Tuesday evening at 8, starts at 8 p.m. UK time. And it's going to be completely not lectures or classes or seminars. It's just going to be me having some people here and just having a chat about Star Matrix and about, just what we've found out, what we've learned, perhaps tell some star stories, some funny star stories. That would be nice. Good morning, Martin. Good morning, Janine. Martin has just returned from a 1,000-kilometer motorbike trip he undertook yesterday, which is quite fun. So I hope he hasn't left his heart in San Francisco. No, in Cornwall. And all of him has reassembled on the couch. That would be nice. Yeah, first ever Star Matrix Day, June the 1st. And why June the 1st? Yeah, why not? It's the first ever one. Nothing has ever been like it. We get to decide when we want to be doing this. I thought June the 1st was quite a nice time. I didn't realize there was Bank Holiday Monday right next door. The British bank holidays still confuse me after 40 years of living here. But June the 1st is a lovely date. Summer is coming. Instead of winter is coming, oh no, summer is coming, something to look forward to, the Summerlands. Beautiful. So 1st of June is going to be Star Matrix Day. And this really came about because of the new Star Matrix channel. You have to do 2 things in order to get your proprietary name, so that when you type in youtube.com/C, which is short for channel, /Star Matrix. If you want that, you have to do 2 things. You have to have 100 subscribers, and we got that by sending out an email and asking people to please come and subscribe. And the other thing that it has to be, the channel has to be at least 30 days old. And that brought us to the 1st of June. So it's all come together beautifully. Channel has its name, and so I really look forward to chatting with guests about Star Matrix on Tuesday evening from 8 p.m. UK. And please do come along and send us some positive energy, because I really think Star Matrix is going to prove to be the gift that keeps on giving at the multi-level. All right, guys. Yeah, so one of the things that I really like about modern energy is that we're not really an association of therapists or healers. We are people, and that's a big difference. So in our, daily life, if you want to call it that, we might be something, like we might be a mechanical engineer or a wood turning person, or we might be running a company. And while I'm there, many congratulations to dear Bear Collins on being the Irish Businesswoman of the Year in her area, Limerick, I believe it is, and going forth to the final of the Irish Businesswoman of the Year. So while we're there, just send some sparkling energy. Not that Bear particularly needs it, because she's a very sparkly person and she should win it, absolutely. But just, a little bit of extra support and love. But this is what I love about modern energy. You don't have to be a therapist or a healer. You're just a person. You do your thing, whatever your thing is that you are doing. Whether it is making live streams or writing books or doing art or just, being retired or being a student. Doesn't matter what you are. You are welcome with the, welcome to the group of energists. These are people who are putting energy into whatever it is that they're doing. I love that. I find that exciting. And because modern energy isn't really a thing in and of itself, it's just there to help people have a happier life, meaning that you take what you've learned from modern energy and you apply it to your life and find out if it becomes more fun, if it becomes happier, more sparkly. That's the way I like to see this sort of thing. Because we all are different people and, we have different interests. But here is where we come together in this delight and appreciation of, that there's more to life than just concrete and misery and flesh bags stumbling around and the biological robots that are soon going to be squished by the incoming artificial intelligence, and everybody's terrified all the time of everything. There's just no world for human beings to live in. And I'm actually truly delighted that I'm holding this space of I don't know, non-problems. Where do you find 10 people that don't have problems? At a Star Matrix group, you do. In my live stream here, we do. And in modern energy in general, we do, because we're not really that interested in the problems. We're more interested in solutions, in evolution, in having a good time, finding out more, learning more. Lifelong learning, I love that. And just, finding out how we can improve our lives and those of other people, making a positive contribution. which is nice, and it's much needed in this time of wailing and whining. So, morning, Carol Ann. Hi there. I was just going to do something arty here. I was watching a panorama program from the BBC on the terror of the advance of artificial intelligence. And they made such a big deal out of the fact that artificial intelligence machines can know more than we can ever know and collect more data than we can ever collect. And they can beat people at chess, and they can beat people at Go, and people aren't just aren't good enough to be competing with artificial intelligence. And Jesus Christ, I mean, all this, they just love it, don't they? They love piling on the terror. Good morning, Barbara. Hi there. Yeah, we're arty here in a minute. And this really made me laugh on so many different levels. It always does. When I hear these doom and gloom merchants who are not factoring in the fact that human beings are more than just, data collections, for the love of God. They're just more than that. What these people think of in terms of intelligence is so limited, is unbelievable. It is such hubris, reverse hubris. First of all, they're thick as two short planks, these people. And then secondly, they then take that as this is how it is. This is reality. We are stupid. Machines are smarter than we are. It's just insanity. Ugh. But don't be terrified of artificial intelligence. They're completely overhyping that, as they overhype everything bloody else. Everything is being constantly overhyped, whatever it may be. And it's just, let's just calm down and have some fun. And so my dear Energy Mind had some fun with me in preparation, probably, for watching this artificial intelligence program. It made a work of art called, here it is. Yay. Da, 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 da. And this was called Alien Intelligence. Alien Intelligence. And this just came to me, like, literally, this was literally finished one day before I watched that show on artificial intelligence. This is Alien Intelligence. It is organic, it is alive, it is probably something to do with the living neurons sparking in our brains and creating new neural networks. And yeah, so that was one thing to get us into this whole topic that I had there on my list of what to write, what we're going to talk about today. Yeah, so how intelligent are human beings really? How do you measure that? What is your criteria to say what intelligence is? That'd be a really interesting thing to be discussing. And I'll tell you what intelligence isn't: card counting, bean counting. It's not bean counting. That is not intelligence. The dear Energy Mind can do such wonderful things. Oh, God. The dear Energy Mind can create a whole persona and their entire world, something like Game of Thrones, with everything that's in there, with every character, in a snap second. How's that for data? That's amazing. Those of you who do creative things know that this is so. Nicely, the creator of Harry Potter, J.K. Rowling, she said that she was on a train and Harry Potter walks in his school uniform on his way to his school, and the entire world was there. Like that. Snap. With all the characters, all the backstories, all the relatives, all the mysteries, all the secrets, all the way back to the Stone Age and beyond, and all the way into the future. That's what the human energy mind can do, in brackets, previously known as the or subconscious mind, close brackets. That's what the human energy mind can do. So when we have some sort of an AI that can do that, then I'll start, not getting worried, but becoming interested. Then we could probably have an interesting conversation with such an entity. But while it still plays chess and Go, I think we're good for now as human beings. Yeah, go alien intelligence. Yes, Linda. Hello, good morning. Alien intelligence, go. Yeah, and alien doesn't necessarily mean from outer space. It probably means just, our own unexplored intelligence, real intelligence, which to the bean counters is alien. They can't conceptualize it, they can't conceive of it, they don't understand it. It might as well be from another planet. So, yeah, yay to alien intelligence. Oh, that's Barbara saying. Let's see what Barbara says. Dear Energy Mind, help me be totally happy, even if people know. Oh, okay, yes. Would it change who I need to be around? Yeah, look, our happiness matters. Let's start with the happiness first. I mean, this is my theory. It's my theory. Let's try and be a bit happier first before we make any conclusions about anything. Before we decide that we need alien intelligence to enhance, artificial intelligence to enhance our beautiful minds, our awesome, awesome minds. Before we decide that we need that, I think one of the big problems with humanity is they just totally got the wrong problems on their radar. These artificial intelligence people are trying to solve a problem that is not a problem. It's the wrong problem they're trying to solve. And in doing so, just making the reality divergence worse and creating ever more problems in its wake. But I've said the word problem here way too often. Not interested in problems. Let's talk about progress instead, about sort of moments of enlightenment. I'd like you to just cast your mind back over the week that was and just remember, just for practice, one or two moments from last week that were just particular highlights. Just particular highlights from last week. That's a really nice thing to do. And it should make it a lot easier to remember the good things and build those all-important pathways in the physical brain that, my energy mind wants me to hold this up. To build those all-important pathways in the physical brain so that we get that information from what was good, what was right, what worked. Oh. I think this is going to turn out to be quite a good, fun thing to be playing with my alien intelligence piece. Yeah. Let me know in the comments if you've remembered something really good from last week. There's a Monday and a Tuesday and a Wednesday and a Thursday and a Friday and a Saturday and a Sunday. Here we are. Okay. Dancing with my teens made me happy. Great. Well done, Barbara. You remembered a good thing about. See, I think this is really important as well. If we do this regularly, we become very clear on what brings us joy and what brings us down. And you might think, and especially if you're new to this and you have not you stumbled into this video by total accident and you have no idea who I am or any of these other people are, or even what we're talking about. You might think that people out there know what makes them happy, that they're consciously aware of this, that they're very clear in their minds that certain things make them happy and other things make them very unhappy. You'd think that. But if you thought that, you were wrong. Because I thought that I knew what made me happy and what doesn't make me happy, but I was wrong about that. I was wrong. I've, uh, I, on the one hand, I haven't appreciated enough those things that made me happy. That's because I was always looking for problems, obviously. You know, well, I'm working on this problem. This is the problem that needs to be solved. I must work on this problem, blah. Yeah, spent my life like that. Half a century at least. Oh my God. Ooh. It's no wonder that when you're going with these blinkers in this tunnel, problem tunnel all the time, that you're just not seeing all the other beautiful things, the sparkly things, the shiny things. That's the one side of it. The other side of it is that you put up with too much shit. I mean, you really put up with all sorts of things because, yeah, you know, life is hard. We have to do hard work. We have to do the things that we don't like. We have to eat the broccoli. You know, we have to do this and we have to do that. And you kind of get used to putting up with all this mess, with all these things that you don't have to put up with. And that's something for me that's been really, really helpful about Star Matrix and Star Matrix thinking, is to just notice when there's something that is going to be just not fun and starting to question that. So the first Star Matrix day, what we're going to do, an online conference. Oh. And I just felt the entire energy just drain out of me. Oh, God. Booking in people for interviews, finding topics, making schedules. Oh, God. Using all sorts of software and, oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, dear. And all the joy just went flumph out of it. And I'm like, this is so wrong. No. Star Matrix is fun. It's about happy memories. It's about raising energy. It's not about, and it doesn't matter. And I'm not going to make that mistake of going, okay, everybody else is going to have fun, but I am going to sacrifice myself. I'm going to sacrifice myself on the altar of doing these things so that other people can benefit from it. This is also so wrong. So wrong. Self-mutilation and self-sacrifice is never it's just not an operating procedure for general life. All right, there may come a time when it's you or a busload of children, and so you decide to cut the safety harness so they can all live. That's fair enough. Okay, fair enough. But in general, in daily life, all you're doing is making yourself miserable. And when you do that, you bring the ones you love down, the ones you work with down. There is no benefit from this. No benefit, and no benefit from you for yourself either. So I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to go through all this drama and trauma. Star Matrix is light and bright and easy. It's humane. It's natural. Let's just do a live stream and invite some guests instead. Done. And you know what? Unless my live stream goes down or something bad happens, this is going to be so much more fun for everyone involved. Spontaneous, light-hearted, easy, humane, natural, authentic. All the keywords that describe Star Matrix in essence. And yeah, noticing that I didn't want to go through all the drama in creating a formal GOE online conference. Noticing that and just saying, not accepting that's the way it is. That was the way it was all those years before. But I'm older now and I'm wiser, and I've sort of woken up to the fact there's an awful lot of stuff we don't have to put up with. And it doesn't just mean not doing it anymore or not having that anymore. It just means to find creative, positive, alternatives that are simply more fun and in the end more beneficial, more just better, finding better solutions. Step one to that is to recognize when something sucks, or when something brings the party down, or when something you don't want to do it, or, and to not put up with things that you've put up with forever. I think that's a fantastic result. I think that's fantastic. I'm so pleased about that. It's such a relief not to looking for problems all the time. Isn't it just? Yes, isn't it just? I mean, when you're looking, seriously, you could say, when you're looking for problems, you are losing sight of the goal. Literally. There's the goal, there's the problems. You take your eye off the ball and you look at the problems, like that. What's the goal? What are you trying to achieve? What is the purpose? And focusing on the purpose there and going with, how can I help this unfold better? What can I do to make this work better? And sometimes in the course of that, you come across a problem and you solve it. But 99% of the time, 99% of the time, there might not ever be a problem you need to solve. Like my example with the Star Matrix live stream, instead of a complicated registration page, formal, oh dear, conference thing. Keeping the eye on the goal, how do we celebrate Star Matrix Day? Rather than going into the problems of online conferencing. That's what gave that space for me to have the idea, let's do a live stream. That'd be fun. That'll be great. Love it. Lots of people can take part. No registration pages, no hassle. Wonderful. Ooh, Barbara says, light, bright, easy, humane. Yes, yes, please. Oh, God, would I not love to be treated that way everywhere? Everywhere. Light, bright, easy, humane. From my dealings with companies, phone lines, online helplines, to medical care, everything. Let everything be like that, please, dear Lord. See what Mariana has to say. There have been so many moments of happiness last week. They were like pearls on a string. The rain, the sun, the birds, the stars, laughter of some children in the street, the green of the trees. Fantastic. I love it. Pearls on a string. Yeah, like a flow of star moments. And yeah, so thank you for sharing that. That was lovely. That's the right way of receiving that. If you're looking back on the week that was and you're struggling to find anything good in it at all, or anything that stands out, and all you see is some grey picture of yourself dragging around in some miserable circumstance, there is room for improvement. Don't accept that. That's not true. There were moments of happiness in last week. There were. They may have been little things like, I don't know, eating a piece of cheese on toast when you were really hungry and it tasted good. Or you were hot and put some water in your hands and put it on your face, and that felt refreshing, and you went, oh, that's better. Or you really wanted a cup of tea and you made one, and it was like, oh God, I needed that. Learning to find those moments. And so when you're asking your brain, show me something good from last week, it does that. It just obeys. It will show you something. And then you say, show me something else, and it'll show you something else, and so on and so on and so on. This is brain training. This is rewiring your brain for paying more attention to those things that make you happy. So it's really kind of a wonderful thing. So I had lots and lots of star moments last week, but one was particular. One was particular. On one of the Star Matrix group, lovely lady by the name of Barbara Burgess posted a memory of wanting to go down a slide in a playground and her older sister saying to her, "Act your age." And I sort of transferred into that, and I was there, and it was me wanting to go down the slide, and this woman says to me, "Act your age." And the word just came back, snap, without me having to think about it, just came back. I am immortal, and I do. I just absolutely love that. I love that so much. I made 2 memes, one in German and one in English out of it. Act your age. Yes, I do. I'm immortal. I act my age. And that was a star moment, and it didn't go away. I kept thinking about it. I kept thinking about how when I was a little squirt, little tiny squirt, 3-year-old squirt and so on, people always used to say that I was too old for my age. So I've always been too old or too young for this or that and the other, Oh man, when I was young, people used to say that they wouldn't listen to me because I was too young. And now I'm old, people are telling me they're not going to listen to me because I'm too old. It's just absolutely ridiculous. I've always had this, that people somehow they had some sort of a problem with act your age, behave like what? Like what? And that answer to this act your age business, or that you're the wrong age for something, you can't do this because you're this or that age, is just answered so perfectly in this statement. I am immortal. And I do. In brackets. Anything that I want to do. Anything that I want to do. And the permission slip is, I'm immortal. Now, I have talked about the importance of immortality for human beings already, and I've put a couple of links in under the video. One of them was my original talk of why immortality matters, and I really recommend that you have a listen to that and share it as well, because this is such a fundamental topic. This is so fundamental to our ability to not be constantly terrified in this lifetime. The importance of that I can't even begin to overestimate. I also put in the link a link to the cell activator. That's a tapping session, and the cell activator, that's from a German fiction show. It's a machine that makes you immortal, and I made myself one. So this immortality thing, that became very real to me this week. It became very real to me. It's not so much that I am immortal. And I'd like you to say those words. Say those words. Back to the screen to me. I am immortal. It's not so much that. There was another shift to this that happened, which was that I am an immortal. I am an immortal. Try that sentence just for a laugh. See, what that does is when you say that I am an immortal, It means you're no longer alone. There are more of us. Are they rare? And this sort of sense of that there are other immortals out there. That was really interesting. It felt sparkly. An interesting thought, an interesting idea that not only am I immortal, which is great, but perhaps it's not as rare as we thought it might be. Perhaps there's other immortals just like me. Immortals just like me. Ooh, exciting. Now that's a group I would like to join. So I just don't know, I had this sort of mental thing of walking into a pub, pre-COVID, buzzing, people laughing, having drinks. Make it an Irish pub. There's an Irish pub on every planet in the galaxy, I've been told. Stained glass windows, live band playing in the corner, people laughing, having a good time. And I've walked into this pub and thought to myself, I wonder if there's any other immortals here. And the thing that I got from that was they're all immortals here. They just don't know it. Everybody here is an immortal. They just don't know it. And that was just such a, oh my God, isn't that the truth? Isn't that the truth? People are going through life as though they were not immortal. As though they were not immortal. They don't know that they belong to that magical group of beings who are the immortals. And at that moment, I immediately made that connection with the man from Star Matrix, the guy who's got $1 million in his bank account, but he doesn't know that. And so he acts like a homeless person, hungry, starving, lonely, and dies under a motorway bridge in a snowstorm. Because he doesn't know it. He doesn't know he's got that $1 million in the bank. And when I walks into this Irish pub in Pertinary, and I saw all these people, and I thought, oh my God, they're all immortal, but they don't know it. This then, Janine says, I am an immortal. Feels like a deep, profound silence around it. Yeah, that silence, that's the absence of terror, of death. That's what that is. The screaming, howling voices of fear that bring people's incarnations down. They don't even know it. They think it's normal to eat rats and sleep in a snowstorm under a motorway bridge. They think that's how it's supposed to be. They're not even looking for the bank account with the $1 million in it. They have no conception of it. It's crazy. It's just crazy. Yeah, so then my next thought on this was, if you are immortal, then how do you behave differently from people who don't know it? You're an immortal and you know it, and you walk into this pub. So how does that change your behavior? How does that change your behavior? Which is where my interest lies, how the metaphysical, the magical, how that interacts with actual real life in the hard, if you will. How does it change timelines? How does it affect other people and what they do? How does it end up in a result of a statue being built or pulled down, a war being started or ended, a new philosophy coming into being? How does that interact with each other, putting the planes back together. And at that point, then I remembered an old pattern that we used to play with and have so much fun with, which was just leaning against a wall like a high-class prostitute, or walking up the stairs like a billionaire who's just purchased his own tropical island, or cutting these onions like a grandmother of 24, just doing things in the heart, behaviors, and then just taking a different mental attitude and seeing how that affects your physical state, what you do, your emotions, your moods. And we used to do that really playfully. I mean, yeah, lean against the wall like a high-class prostitute. Please do try this, men and women alike. It is really just funny. It'll make you giggle, I promise. It'll just make you giggle. It's freeing and interesting. And so there we come to this title of today's show, which is Walk Like an Immortal. Not the immortal, an immortal. For there are many of us. There are many of us. How does an immortal walk? Just down the street, or through the garden, or into a supermarket. How is that different from how you were walking before? This is playing with energy. This is an energy shift. It is a way, and I think that's really important. This is a way of getting us to connect daily life with this concept of immortality, our own soul, what it could do for us. Because the problem is, when you say soul, it is so nebulous, so ill-defined, so weird and rejected, and so little thought about properly at a personal level for a long, long, long time, that we need to bring this whole topic into the heart, the whole topic of immortality, not the topic of physical death. Nobody wants to talk about physical death in excruciating detail, unless there's some kind of weirdo, It's people like, we need to talk about death. We need to face death. We need to talk about it. No. What we need to talk about is immortality. That's, again, this thing with problems and goals. We need to talk about immortality. What is it? Is it real? What effects does it have on us? What happens next after we walked down the street as an immortal for a change? Could it be that might activate some parts of the energy system that have been completely dormant up until that point? May it bring you new ideas and insights on your life as it was, as it is now, and how it will become. To just do that, sit on the park bench as an immortal. Greet your father or your grandfather as an immortal. How does that change the way you think, the way you feel, the way you act, the way you plan? And that is just simply an invitation to discovery for each one of yours. Yeah, that's quite funny. When you are energy high, +10, we attract people. So perhaps this is how we get to be immortal. Well, that's my theory, isn't it? That only the +10 experiences of our lives get gathered together into this matrix, the star matrix. And that's our immortality. That is our immortality. That's what goes on to the next level. And you never know. If you've got enough star events in there, perhaps you get to have your ascension. Misery and suffering's not going to get you there. Contrary to public opinion, that's exactly how not to get to enlightenment and immortality. Misery and suffering. It's just not going to be happening. That's like that thing with, oh, we need to talk about death. Nobody wants to talk about death. And I understand that. Let's start by talking about our immortality instead. Now we have a goal. Now we have an interesting thing to be explored, to think about, to talk about with each other. Do you think that we are the immortals and just don't know it? Or are we just deluding ourselves? And what happens when we delude ourselves that we are immortals when in fact we're not? What are the downsides? Let's just talk about immortality. Let's not talk about death. Ugh. Let's talk about immortality and see if we can learn something new, something useful, something interesting, or something fun in the process of doing that. So yeah, I'm going to really invite you to play with that immortal thing. Really play with that immortal thing. So when you're on Twitter and somebody says something really, really stupid, you can look at that and think, how would an immortal respond to that? What would an immortal make of this? If I was an immortal, what would I do with that or to that person? Just an interesting way of, it's like opening up new ways of thinking about situations that were very samey, very boring, very oft repeated, very annoying. What would an immortal say? I mean, what would a true immortal say on a live stream to the 5 people who are listening? Dance like there's nobody watching. Oh, yes. Ah. This is quite funny. This is quite funny. Maybe death is not real. Physical death is quite real. It is quite real. There's cemeteries full of physically dead people. Or the remains of physical people. The physical remains of people. There's lots of them. Death is quite real. But as I said, let's not talk about death for a while. We've been talking about death for too long, and nobody wants to talk about death apart from a bunch of weirdos. Let's talk about immortality instead. Actual, structural, real immortality. And if that was so, that you were immortal, you were guaranteed without having to do anything else. Because, as I said, when I walked into my Irish pub, everyone in there was immortal. Everybody was. They just didn't know it. So, yeah, physical death is quite real. Yeah, that's what everybody ever always says. Everybody says this. Thank you, Linda, for saying that which everybody always says. I have no fear of death, only of the suffering beforehand. Okay, let's not talk about death for a change. Let's talk about your immortality instead. Let's focus on that for a little while, Next time you cough, cough like an immortal. See if that makes a difference. Because, see, being constantly afraid of the iniquities of old age and all the pain and suffering and the terrible things that happen to old people when they can't defend themselves anymore. All of these things are very, very terrifying. And the older you get, the more terrifying, the more monstrous, the more enormous these fears become until they literally cloud over and get between you and the eternal sunshine of the soul. So I highly recommend, at least for a year or so, to leave those old problems there. Let's talk about immortality. What it feels like, what it may be, whether we've ever had any experiences that may have, nudged us in that direction and say, hey, is it possible that there could be a soul and that this soul could be immortal? Have I had any experiences of this? Personal experiences? Have I had any moments where this seemed to be, yeah, this is actually true. Everybody's immortal. Interesting thoughts. Okay, guys. Yeah, that was fun. Took a while. Thank you. If you got all the way to the end, I congratulate you, my dear fellow human being. And yeah, I too. It's a wonderful topic. I was most delighted with it. And if you can insert a discussion on immortality in your daily doings with other people, just do it. And remember to drink at least one or two beverages in the coming week, like an immortal would drink that, and find out how that feels. Yeah. Oh, wonderful. Okay, my darlings, that was a long live stream, but it's a topic that is very, very close to my heart. Oh, thank you so much, Marianne. So much fun this morning. Have a joyful Sunday and week and all of wonderful immortals. Yes, absolutely. It'll be very interesting, and I look forward to playing with that. And please, I'd love to hear some feedback too on how that goes and what you experience when you try simple things like washing dishes or fulfilling an order as an immortal for a change. Lots of love to you all. Thank you so much for being here with me. Lots of love. Oh, yeah, loved it. Looking forward to June 1st. Okay, next Tuesday. And yeah, there will be a replay, but if you're actually there in person, it's so much better in real time, in temporal authenticity. Thank you so much, my immortal friend. Ah, thank you, my immortal friend across the seas as well. Lots of love and sparkly blessings to you guys. Stay immortal. And remember that. It's a very, very, very powerful place to be. Lots of love and see you guys on Tuesday evening, 8 o'clock UK time for the Star Matrix. First Star Matrix Day in all the worlds. Lots of love to you. Have a wonderful Sunday and bye for now. Bye.